until the train pass. So I congratulate you for the award. But really,
For winning my local government?
Sir?
For winning my local government?
I say I congratulate you for winning your local government.
Okay, yes, I thought you were congratulating me for the award of GCON.
No, actually,
if
that has not been done because I wasn't around yesterday and the day before.
No, you kept using the word
I think you
award.
deserve to be congratulated because it was long overdue. Because previous Senate presidents are giving the award the very week they are sworn in.
Thank you.
So congratulations, we shall watch it, sir.
Thank you.
In a very uncommon manner.
Thank you.
But sir, the complexities of this issue is a bit such that, we can't even say governors of a political party. The case of Benue is APC versus APC, which explains the unity between PDP and APC senators on this occasion. But with profound respect, I shall say substantially to what the former Senate president said. But I am like, there are more other questions that we ought to ask. Because even those of us who are here, our elections were challenged, conducted by INEC. And many of us are here courtesy of the judiciary. The judiciary found that those who were here before were, were not the winners, and in many cases, I'm not sure of the numbers. Many of us are here courtesy of judicial pronouncement. But me, it's courtesy of my electorate. Now, the issue for me is, why are we helpless? That is what, for me, leads to a much more complicated question. The purpose of judiciary is to listen exactly the same way as the state and federal high court tribunals and Court of Appeal and Supreme Court listen to those who have reasons to lay election petition before them. Why are the states, those who are victims of this open robbery across the 36 states, there is no exception. They ought to be able to approach the judiciary in their respective state. And I know for a fact that under the law, the state chief judge constitutes a tribunal to hear petitions arising from local government election. And then the chief judge also constitutes an appeal court, which is drawn from within the state judiciary. If, as it seems to be the case, that the state judiciary are unable to find their governors guilty of conducting an election that have been described in the manner that Benue was described, but that language is applicable to all without exception, so that we are not seen to be picking and choosing what to condemn and what to celebrate. It raises the issue of the independence of the state judiciary. Because if they were alive to their responsibilities and they are able to void an election that, quote, was conducted, the results were out many days before, then there will be no problem. The Constitution envisages that people with power may be tempted to abuse it. That is why the third arm of government, called the judiciary, is established. So I think all of these have to be taken together. Because of the point made by the former SP, this National Assembly, we already have a precedent. You pass a law to grant state assemblies autonomy. That law was passed by the two chambers to amend the Constitution, but it required the concurrence of 2/3 of the states. Your Excellency, Mr. President, I'm sure you will remember that many states declined to assent to that amendment, even though these parliaments, state parliaments, were supposed to be the immediate beneficiary. So the National Assembly that was not affected was sympathetic, but the state assemblies were seemingly not sympathetic to their own cause because their governors were not in agreement with that. I think that said, and you have spoken to the sorry state of affairs in Edo State, but even that one, sir, I hope it doesn't happen under your leadership? Because the National Assembly also failed us in Edo State.
But
because the power of the National Assembly...
It wasn't under my tenure.
Sir?
It wasn't under this 10th Assembly.
That's why I say, may it don't happen under your tenure.
It wouldn't, because we have provisions in the Constitution that we can use to correct the situation.
With respect, Mr. President, that is the point I'm making. When I said that we were also disappointed by the National Assembly of that time, the 9th Senate. I'm very sorry I have to say this, but the truth has no color. The National Assembly invoked their powers and sent a delegation to Edo, a panel to Edo, both the Senate and the House. And they reported that the governor did not properly inaugurate the House. And that was it. Nothing else followed. So for 4 years, Edo was under sole administrator. But even more painful is that whereas the Constitution says you can't have a parliament less than 24, Edo was run with 10 people. But I didn't come to Abuja to lament the imperfections in Nigeria. Like you, I think we are here to fix what is broken. Obviously, elections at the local government level is broken, and it has to be fixed. But to fix it, we will need to have in-house conversation, not within the Senate. The National Assembly, as you rightly said, the governors and Mr. President, to understand that it is in our enlightened self-interest, not a favor to Nigerians or to the local government. It is in the matter of enlightened self-interest of we, the political class. I now can't excuse myself because I used to fight the class, but as you can see, I'm here. To understand that the grave that we are digging, or we are watching some people dig, even though they say we soon become a victim, because like you said, sir, now in the case of Edo, in the next 26 days, we'll have a new governor, and Obaseki will belong to the past. He's already actually gone. He's gone on terminal leave. So I don't know how we're going to do it, but I would suggest that we have a convention under your leadership, invite scholars, invite other political players, statesmen, so that together we can look at this. Because even if you create another INEC, and the character issue remains the same, the idea that I must have everything, I must take all, whether by hook or by crook, nothing is going to change. But I believe that you have shown leadership in many other ways, and this will just be another uncommon situation that God will use your leadership to bring about in our country. Otherwise, we may do the way the president appoints the minister of FCT. The governor can as well go and say he's appointing who he wants as chairman, so that public fund is not even wasted in the name of, quote, election that we know are never on. It is a shame across the 36 states of the Federation. And but again, now we must make exception to Mr. President of the Senate for at least you won one. That must be a tough fight. But the rebellion was crushed in your local government. Thank you very much, Mr. President, sir.
Well, this is Senator Adams.
24 and only 10 were sworn in at about 9:30, about 10 p.m. at night.
Only 10 of them?
10.
So what happened to the other 14?
They were out for all of 4 years. All of 4 years. They were not sworn in one day. The Attorney General, the former Attorney General Malemi, wrote to the IG to provide security for the members to be sworn in, but the state government and the police, in quote, tried to enforce it. They put granite and... Anyway, for 4 years, they were out. They never sat one day. They never earned anything. And whatever they spend in electioneering, they are just like, I don't know how to put it. It's not nice to talk to describe people in some ways, but obviously, just imagine what you go through, the stress of electioneering, the cost of electioneering, and you are declared the winner. There are no issues of whether you were properly elected or not. The court satisfied that you were properly elected, and the governor just declined to inaugurate. I remember the former Senate president, for you to see the complexity, sir, some APC governors were involved in this conspiracy. Now, the Senate president called a meeting to settle this issue, and he asked a former chairman of Governors Forum, someone, I don't want to mention name, but someone from the Southwest, and 2 other governors, and so on. And he was to have a meeting with them, and they told the Senate president, the APC in the state told the Senate president that truly they were not able to inform the members for proper inauguration. He considered that. And the Senate president, to his credit, and may God bless you for that, told the governors, one of whom was a former senator, and said, you know that this is the only procedure to inaugurate a house. And that procedure was not followed. And the only remedy is that proper inauguration be done. He told that former Senate governor, who was chairman of Governors Forum, APC Governors Forum, and in the presence of another governor who was the chairman of Nigeria Governors Forum. And the governor of Edo then said he wasn't ready to repeat the process.
Would it be out of place for us to revisit the issue and insist that at least the remunerations of those 14 members who were sidelined for 4 years should be paid by the incoming administration of distinguished Senator Okwewolo? No, but I think the court had ruled on the matter. Is the matter still in court?
No, sir. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not sure of the state of the matter in court. So, but we have discussed this with Mr. President, and I think he's doing something. I think the next governor coming in, we have a lot in his hand, and naturally he will look at this. But if the Senate was to pass a resolution, because we discussed this issue with the President, and he's very, very sympathetic, and he promised to do something about it. However, whatever
we just mentioned that it's a subnational issue. It is not a federal issue. This was an isolated case where the man you brought as governor turned against you and turned against democracy. That is. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that the people of Edo voted him out. So the question I'm saying now is that, in due course, please consider bringing a motion for us to reconsider the plight of those 14 legislators in Edo State, since it is not there is no legal encumbrance. Distinguished Senator Ekong Samson, you may wish to answer them on how I was awarded one local government.
But I told you he was elected, but I supported him. Just the way you supported Governor Udom. So we supported. I didn't have power to appoint a governor, but I supported the way you supported Udom. And I think there are many governors who have supported, even the Benue who are complaining, they supported the Reverend